You know, I love being behind the scenes. And for the first time, I think you're the first guest to have green on the other side, by the way. We're literally in the green room. And is that green or is that teal?
It's blue, actually.
It's blue. Okay, well, there was a time I could see those colors. There was a time that I could see those colors. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's still no green around here, okay? But we are in the green room. So, if I can, Sheila, I always talk about bios and backgrounds and all that stuff. We'll send that to them. Do you mind taking a moment and telling the folks, who is Sheila and what are you up to these days?
Well, Sheila is an eternal optimist. I'm an author, I'm a blogger. I have a business here on the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I'm just a person that likes to see other people succeed. What have I been up to lately? Well, let's see, I have a couple of new books that are out, so I've been writing. I do have a new community reading initiative going on here on the Gulf Coast, where we're working to give books away. During the summer, we gave books away to children. Right now, we're giving books away to seniors each week. And then we're going to do veterans after the first of the year. So I love reading. I'm an advocate of reading. I have a literacy program at our training business. So we just like to see people read, and we read to people if they can't read. So that's what I've been up to lately. I'm trying to think. There's tons of other things that I've been up to lately, but those are really the most important two for right now. So that's me.
That's you in a nutshell. Now you can't just leave it out there and say I do all this reading, and we're in the green room, right? So I've got to ask, what are you reading now? And maybe what's one of the business books you're reading now? Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the green room, okay? We haven't got started. She'll talk about all these obstacles later. But I'm curious. She says she loves reading, so what's a business book she's reading now? And what's one she would recommend? Let's put her on the spot.
I know that is putting me on the spot because I read, I love to read just everything, but Extreme Ownership is a book I'm reading right now, and I love that book for a ton of different reasons, primarily because everything that you need to know about that book is in the foreword.
It's called, what was the name of it again?
Extreme Ownership.
Is that the book about the military, about a guy that was in the military? Oh, I love that book. Yes. Oh, see, I read all the time too, by the way. But I would try to profess like you to be a geek out there, by the way. You're like, I'm a reader, Shay.
I am. You should see my bookshelf, and everybody just picks on me, bookworm.
Okay, so the book Extreme Ownership. You can't leave the folks hanging, okay? Take a moment, tell them what is the book. I don't know what the book about, Shay. I'm just reading. I read so many books.
Well, I have it right here beside me. Extreme Ownership. It's honestly, it's about how to lead and win, is what it says. So it teaches you how to develop teams, with the importance of developing trust in a team, the importance of really being transparent with your team, and just building that level of trust that makes people want to follow you and to serve each other, honestly, and to complete a common goal. Just have that one mission that everybody's working toward, and they're really working toward it. I love that because in business, man, that's so important. If you have an organization and people work for you, you need that. You got to have that. And if people don't have that level of trust and that level of buy-in, you'll never succeed.
That's one of the things I love about what you do. I love the book Extreme Ownership. It's a great book for those folks out there watching, like Eric Swanson, Mr. Awesome is out there watching. He's out in Phoenix, Arizona. Sakisha Heilig, who I love, she's down there, and down in Orlando, Miami. Sakisha, I can't remember which one. For those folks that are watching, I don't think we've ever done this, but look below the video and write down one of the books you're reading now. Sheila claims she is an avid reader. She shared one book, Extreme Ownership. So look right below the video, and we'll get into business obstacles in a moment. But put down one of the books that you recommend that someone read. Now, don't put down the good book, the Bible, okay? That's in a class by itself, okay? And don't put down Think and Grow Rich, because the principles are timeless like the Bible, okay? Something else that if you read, just share that. One of my favorite books is called The Third Door. I don't know if you ever read the book The Third Door. It's one of the best books written of all time, by the way. The Third Door says that there is, the analogy they use is at a club in 30 seconds, a club. When you go to the club, there's the main door, and then there's the VIP door, and everybody sees those doors. But they say there's a third door that no one ever sees. And that's the door you look for to get in. you have to work your way and get in and know someone to get in. And it's all about knowing the right people at the right time. It's called The Third Door. You got to check it out. You'll love it. His storytelling is incredible, by the way. All right, with that being said, you picked a topic, help people succeed in business. We'll get to that in a moment. Why did you pick this topic now in the middle of a global pandemic, global health crisis, and a time when such uncertainty? Why do you believe now is still the right time to start a business, have a business, and grow your business? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Did you lose me? Check one. We might have lost her. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Rule number 1 is we don't panic. We don't panic. Don't worry. We're gonna bring her right back in. Rule number 1: no one panic. All right. She's down in Mississippi right now. Hold up. All right. We'll do a mic check. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we're back.
All right. She's down in Mississippi right now. There's a freaking storm going on. And she says, Shay, I'm going to be on the Happy Entrepreneur Show anyway. Talk about obstacles. I can't make this stuff up. I really cannot make this stuff up. But she said, I'm in there, Shay. The question I was asking that you couldn't hear me, which is, there's a real storm going on in Mississippi, right? I'm not making this up on mine. Yeah. But you decided you're going to be here and be on the show. Why did you decide to be here to share your message with the folks?
Oh my gosh. Well, like I've said to you a million times, number one, I'm just a huge fan of your show. So thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I love your audience. I love the involvement, and I just appreciate the opportunity to kind of get out here and encourage people, to go for what you want in life. Our life is short, and we don't, like we were just saying, we only have one of them. So, let's make the best of it. Do the things that you love to do, and you're going to love life, and you should love your life, and you should celebrate yourself because there's only one you,
Yeah.
So get out there and do what you love. So I'm here tonight just to be with you, just be the happy entrepreneur myself and encourage everybody, to get out there and do what you want to do what you love to do. Like we were saying, we spend so much time at work. So to me, it's important to love what you do and not to put all your time, your effort and talent into growing things for other people, unless that's your passion. If that's what you do, then do that the best that you can do. But if you have the desire to do that for yourself, you should do that for yourself. Because, God gave us such wonderful gifts and such unique gifts, and man, we should use them. So get out there and use your gifts. That's me.
So well said. Well, you're going to tell us how to use our gifts in just a moment right now. Don Leak is in the house, says Hurricane Sally's out there. Eric Swanson said Exit Rich. He's out there. Dana James is in the house. Carol's in the house. John, what's going on, my man? You've got a show. I got to get going. We got a show. We got to get out the green room. We got to get started. We got to help some entrepreneurs. So with that being said, in 5, it's my favorite part, by the way. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's showtime. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is really to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that huge vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always say you have 3 visions, by the way. And I don't want you to ever forget this. I want you to hear me, and I want you to understand this. You first have a vision for yourself. How you want to live, the clothes you want to wear, the car you want to drive. There's organic food that you want. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. I believe you have a second vision, by the way. You have a second vision. You have a vision for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about. Mother dear, bless her heart, is still here. She just turned 73 years old last month, and she's only 15 minutes away. I had a chance to go by there just yesterday, fix dinner, and take a bunch of stuff over there. But here's what's cool. There was a time I couldn't do that just 2 or 3 months ago to be safe, and she got really good at ordering stuff online, by the way. Take the credit card. How many of you out there want to write a check for somebody that you want to make sure their health care is taken care of? You want to write a check to make sure their mortgage is taken care of? It takes resources, which means it takes, revenue. And then there's a third vision I believe you have. You have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And I always like to tell a story about Noah. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you're Noah in the Bible. And you don't have to be a believer. I happen to be one, but you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. But let's say Noah is on a vision. And God gives him the experience, gives him the expertise. He's about to get going. And right before he gets going, there's a knock at the door. What's up, Noah says. Noah, we're sorry to report, but there's no hammer in the house. No hammer in the house. I don't worry. No big deal. None at all. What is going on now? There's also no nails. You might as well know that now ahead of time. Great. No hammer, no nails. We're going to keep on going. Don't you just keep pushing anyway? What? This has got to be it, I hope. Noah, you might as well know that there's no people to put the boat together, and there's no wood. Good luck on this mission. Whoa. And maybe that's you right now. You've got a big heart. You can't believe anymore. If you say any more affirmations, your head's going to blow up. Yet you don't have the resources. So this morning, this evening, this afternoon, the one and only, yes, she's in the house, Sheila Farr is here to help you. What's up, Sheila? What's going on?
Let's do this. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to speaking with you and speaking with your audience about overcoming obstacles. Because man, I've been there. I've been the one who's been sitting in that 9 to 5, just dreaming about the day I could do something different, something of my own, something that was just for me. Like you said, to take care of the people that I loved and to do the things that I wanted to do. So, man, I've been there. I know what it's like, sitting there and just feeling like you were sewing into your work, but you were just kind of half hitting at it, and just bored, and you feel kind of, a lot of times people, I think, in those 9 to 5 jobs, they feel kind of trapped, because they need that paycheck, and they know they want to do something different. They don't know how to do it. So they have a bad attitude. They go in and and usually this is what I find. Usually it's the people that are high producers, that really have a drive to do something more and something different. When you get stuck in a corporate 9 to 5, you kind of get, they force you into a little box of mediocrity. So how do you break free of those chains? People are fearful. They don't know what to do about finances. They don't know, technology in the world today. How am I going to, get through it? How am I going to juggle, trying to start something new while I'm doing something old, and, and with my family too, and then am I going to feel isolated? How am I going to, work through my days if I don't have my team with me? But, you just have to see how you feel about things. And I'll tell you, one day I was just sitting at work and I'm thinking, man, I'm working so hard, but, what am I really achieving? And am I really growing? And, am I really growing other people, which is what I love to do? And what could I do better? How could I do better? How could I serve more people? And what are the things that are going to help me break out of this box? And do those great things. And, and then you start talking yourself back down. You're like, oh, well, I'm not good enough. And, I'm watching all these other people. And by the way, that's one of the dangerous things I think is comparison. Don't do that. If you're looking at somebody and you're seeing where they're going and you like where they're going, plan to do your version of that, but don't try to do them. Just do you, because, God made us the way he wanted us and gave us unique gifts and talents. So don't compare. But, there are ways, if you really have the desire and the will to do that. My mom used to always tell me, if there's a will, there's a way. And man, how often do you see it? People say, I want to do this, I want to do that. But whenever, it comes right to it and you can even hand the opportunity to them. And then they start backpedaling with all the excuses, So I always say, if you really want to do it, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. And that's true, I believe.
That is so true. So what do you say to the persons out there watching right now? Let me give you a scenario if I can. We had a call a couple of months ago from a young lady who said, hey, look, I'm now working from home full time. I'm a full-time wife. I'm a full-time mom. I'm a full-time school teacher. I'm a full-time administrator because she got 2 kids in elementary school, 1 in junior high. I got to turn in their homework, make sure they're doing it. Oh, by the way, I'm also a full-time cafeteria worker because I've fixed more meals at home than ever before. And I'm also, Shay, I'm also a full-time entrepreneur. I'm trying to get this thing off the ground and we're struggling getting started. And it could be a male. I don't want to say it's just a woman that's doing that. Let me back up and say it could be a male in the same problem. Anybody could be in that problem. So what do you say to the person that's hearing you right now and they're like, how do I get going now? I got so much stuff to do. Now I got to put something else on my plate. What do you say to that person that's ready to break through?
I say buy yourself a good day planner and start scheduling some things, because you really do. The only way to really be successful when you're trying to manage multiple projects, whether it be projects at home or projects at work, you really have to pay attention to your time. And time management's a big, big deal. So get yourself a good day planner and sit down with it and really communicate with your family. First, meet your family's needs. What you need to do there, and then meet your business needs. So schedule that. Schedule your days out. I love it, and people laugh at me all the time because if it's in my day planner, it'll get done. It's not in my day planner. Good luck.
So if I can ask a question real quick for those folks that are out there watching, with the one and only Sheila, there's a hurricane going on. I think it's Hurricane Sally. She's down the Gulf Coast, Mississippi. She says, Shay, I'm here anyway. I'm here as long as the lights stay on. This is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. I can't make this stuff up. She lost power, but she came right back in. I know she was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do the thing on my cell phone if I have to. But she fought her way back in. So do me a favor, if you want to bless someone else, if you want to help another entrepreneur, another single mom, a single dad, or someone out there want to get their business off the ground, they want to know what are the 3 obstacles that's holding people back and how can they overcome them, hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. When you hit the share button or you hit the watch party button, you see that little box pop up and it pops up right there. Just write the words serve plus add value, hashtag Sheila Farr. Just put serve plus add value. I promise you that Sheila's going to add value this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time you're listening or watching right now. So hit the button right now. Hit the button right now. Just hit the button, hit the share button or the watch party button and pay it forward to your network. So the question in their mind's got to be right now, Sheila, what's one of the obstacles that's holding people back these days? Like, I know there's a lot of them out there, but it's holding people back from starting their business and getting it off the ground. Can you give us one obstacle and then maybe a solution to that?
Well, I'll give you a big one: fear.
Fear. Okay, talk about that if you will.
Lack of confidence and fear, I think, probably are 2 of the biggest things that I hear when people come to me, with, hey, I have this idea for this great business, but I'm just afraid, to do it. I'm afraid to walk away from my job. I'm afraid that I'll fail. And a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, the first thing you have to do is know the why. Why do you want to work for yourself? Why do you want to do something different? Why do you want to start a business? But I agree with that, and I would like to add to it, because I think you not only need to know your why, you also need to know the what and the how, because it's great to have a good idea, but without a plan, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. So one of the obstacles that you have to overcome is just really kind of sitting down and making a big plan for what you want to do. And I know oftentimes when we sit down to try to think about what we would like to do in business or how we would like to structure our business, it's like our mind gets so boggled. But I found a really cool tool that I've used a lot in writing and in business, and it's mind mapping. Just kind of sitting down and just brainstorming, writing out what you need to do. And the way that I like to do it, just like put the main theme in the center of a blank piece of paper, and then just kind of draw lines out. Just get all of it out of my head onto the paper, and that helps you see, where your thoughts are. So that's going to help you kind of bring the concept into reality for yourself. And it can be a confidence builder whenever you see those things, and then you begin to set some goals. So getting the information or the ideas out of your head, start setting some goals, and then upgrade your network. You need to surround yourself with people who are going to support you and lift you up. that's the best way I found to help people overcome fear, is just kind of find your cheerleaders, just find your tribe and follow them, circle them all around you. And, pull more people into that, because we need more of that these days. I love whenever I find people who celebrate other people in business, and encourage entrepreneurs. Giving them a dose of reality. You have to be real about it, because you're talking about finances and you're talking about, your life and your livelihood. So you really do need to be realistic about it. But definitely, I think, start where you are, know your worth and your value, and know that you can do it. God gifted, like I said, each of us so individually and so, independently, and man, we're wonderfully made. You got the tools that you need, just step out and do the thing, so really, to overcome fear, I would say just get whatever's in your head out onto paper. Be sure that you're setting goals and you have a plan, and then, like I said, upgrade that network.
I love it, man. There's so much truth there. Never underestimate the power of the fundamentals. You do those things and the magic can happen. You mentioned earlier this whole thing about lack of confidence, and confidence means different things to different people. So when you talk about maybe confidence might be lacking, tell us a little more about what you mean by that, right? Because I know for me, sometimes everything looks good on the outside, but the inside, you don't want to know what's going on. So talk about confidence and how that's a big factor, please.
So it's really what I find most often, and I work with a lot of females in business, some males, but primarily females, and it's like their front yard doesn't match their backyard. It's like when they come to you, they put on a show and they look really good and they sound really good, but when you start digging into the fundamentals and basics of their business and how they're going to grow and how they're going to manage, you start seeing that things just don't add up, that they really, and a lot of times I hear this imposter syndrome. People feel like they're not able to do what they say they're going to do, or they don't, they present themselves as one way, but really they're like a mess. They've got a mess going on around them, so that causes them to be, kind of shaky and inconsistent in the way that they approach their business. And I see that, that's a lack of confidence. And that's just finding out what those issues are, what makes you shaky, if you've got a nicely manicured front yard, if you present yourself beautifully and you're put together well and you speak well and, you're polished and you've got this nice product, but you can't, return a phone call and you can't, do the things that you need to do for business consistently and timely, then you got to find out where those deficits are and work on those things so you can overcome them. And you can, but you just have to be real about it and honest about it. I think and that's why I love mentors and coaches so much, because they can bring that out of people and you can spot it in a heartbeat in somebody. Normally, if you've done it for a while, I find that normally within talking to somebody about it, within 5 or 10 minutes, I can, say, okay, this is all great, but what about this? And ask, some more questions. And they're like, oh, well, I thought you weren't going to see that over there.
So what do you say to the person that's watching right now saying, okay, Sheila's spot on. Okay, she's right. Okay, there's imposter syndrome. I'm feeling that, Shay. She's speaking to me. I got to get going. But they're thinking, but Shay, she got it all together. I read her bio. Life's perfect for her. Was there ever a time where there was some challenge in her life? And how did she find a way to bounce back? Because, Shay, I've been through some things, and some things people know and some things people don't know. So I'm just curious a little bit about her backstory and maybe something she's gone through that she can share with us if you're comfortable. And how did you bounce back? Like, what was your secret to success? They want to know.
Well, we were talking about books earlier, and we all have chapters of our books that we don't want people to read out loud. All of us, we have that. That's a life. Life is messy. People are messy, and that's okay. I honestly think it's okay because, there is no perfection. But people strive for perfection and they are afraid to fail. And, oh my goodness, you learn so much from failing. So for me, man, I'll tell you the thing for me is, and this is kind of my January 1st moment. So I'm jumping ahead. I know it's coming. Really it's just working. For me, it was, man, and it's working in a place where you dread to get up and go to that place every day. And it's knowing that you were meant for more, and knowing that God has more in store for you, and knowing that you're not using your gifts and talents in the way that you're supposed to be using them. But there you go, having a lack of confidence and just being fearful. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? What if I don't do this? I'm overweight. What if people look at me funny? I'm 55 years old and everybody in the marketplace is in their 30s. We can always come up with but ifs. And I think for me, the thing that I started that really kind of was a wake up call for me was, I'm like, man, why all the negativity? It was really, how can you live more positively, and how can you see things differently? Because if you're looking for things to go wrong, it's that self-fulfilling prophecy. It's going to go wrong. You're going to go right down. If you're looking down, I was talking to a group the other day, about being positive, because that's one of the things that I do and that I love. It's a couple of years ago, I started a blog called Thankful and Blessed 365, because I wanted to be living joyfully and intentionally every single day. So I write about the blessings that I have in my life and how God works in me. But more than anything else, for me, it was like, how can I turn my own negative mindset around and be a little bit more positive? And one of the things that I started doing was just, looking at all the blessings, and not even every single day, every single minute. When you start paying attention to the way that God's working in your life, and Shay, you mentioned this to me before, that on one of my pages, it says, I love the way God works.
Yeah.
And I do, because if you're paying attention every minute of every day, you can find a miracle. I always say God's still in the miracle making business. He did it in the Bible. He's still doing it today. We just got our eyes closed, and we're walking forward like we can't see what's going on around us. But he does it every single day.
I like it. Yeah.
So, and in business especially, we miss our opportunities so many times because we're talking about the things that we can't do. And we're looking for the reasons why we can't make something happen. But my gosh, like I said, we have one life. Get out there, man. These obstacles, yeah, it's tough. You're a little bit afraid. You might not have enough money. You might not really know how to do it. But you know what? You can start where you are. Move forward. Just take a baby step. Get a plan together. Get that big plan together. You got that big dream. Get that big plan.
Oh, man, I love it. Oh, my gosh. I'm loving it. I'm loving what you're saying. For those folks that are out there right now, do me a favor. Hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. I'm going to ask her in a moment to tell us, something she's grateful for. I love it. She has she does this blog that's all about being grateful. So maybe she'll walk us through 4 or 5 things that she's grateful for that we can all get reconnected, and then we'll get back to making money. I get that, by the way. She wasn't planning on doing this, but hopefully she'll be able to connect and give you guys some things that goes to her brain about what we can be grateful for. But you out there, you hit the share button. You hit the watch party button, and you pay the message for it right now. And when you hit that share button, write those words, now is the time. # Sheila Farr. Just put now, right now in the moment. Now is the time to be grateful. Now is the time to get the business going. Now is the time to put the metal to the pedal, not slow down. So for you out there, do that. For those folks that are watching live, we're going to slow down, then I'm going to speed up real quick. But look below the video, and I want you to put what you're grateful for. Like, I'm grateful for blank. Now, should they put I'm grateful or should they put I'm thankful? Is there a difference between being thankful and being grateful?
You tell me.
Okay. Well, it's your blog. Okay. There isn't a difference. We're not getting into semantics, and don't send me no note saying I'm grateful and thankful. Just I'm grateful for blank. And put down whatever blank is. And when you see someone write, I'm grateful for blank, right below the video. Now, I know if you're listening to the podcast, you can't do this. I get it, okay? Or if you're on Roku or Apple TV. But if you can do it, just do it now. Then I'm going to ask Sheila if she'll take a minute, and I know she wasn't going to do this, and just share a few things that you blog about that you're grateful for, and then I'll jump in as well. But let's just have a moment to be grateful for what we have versus what we don't have. Is that okay with you, Sheila?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So take it away. Walk us through this thing that you do about being grateful. I love it. It's a great concept.
No, I love it. And as a matter of fact, well, I'll tell you what really, one of the things that kind of inspired me to do this is because I noticed, like on Facebook, every November, people are like, okay, we're going to have Thankful November. We're going to have 30 days of grateful. And I started thinking, we should have 365 days of that, because every day we have things to be thankful for. I mean, the first thing is, I mean, the Lord wakes us up every day and we have breath in our body. He gives us an opportunity to have another day, to make an impact on other people, to do something wonderful, to love on the people that we care about, to go to places and do work that we love, to touch lives, to change lives, to inspire people, to encourage people. The smells in the world, the grass, the sea, just everything. Food. Oh my golly, are you kidding me? Be thankful for the food. Just everything, because everything is so precious. People are precious. Listening to me, to other people's stories is just something to be thankful for. Sitting with seniors sometimes, and I used to teach a seniors yoga class, and that was fun because you learn so much from other people, and especially seniors. And I love to listen to the stories. And music is another thing I'm grateful for. I love music. My parents used to dance all over our house, and I love music of all genres. I'm grateful for music, so they're just things like that. Whatever inspires me. If I read a Bible verse that kind of touches my heart, I'll blog about that, and how it touches my life. One day I blogged about wisteria because when I was a little girl, my mother had a wisteria bush that grew in our backyard, and it bloomed every Easter. So, my parents are long gone, but now every time my wisteria is blooming, my parents are with me again. So those things that just kind of touch your heart, and they can bring back such fond memories. And like I said, Bible verses. I mean, John 15:5. I'm the vine, and you're the branches, and apart from me, you're much fruit, but with me, there's nothing that you can't do, and that's, I actually have a book coming out, and I told you I love books, I write books, so just knowing that being tangled up in God allows us to bear such fruit, and to do such good things for other people, and to be green and growing and not, ripe and rotting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way you put that for folks out there. Mavis, Craig put, I'm thankful for my life. It could have gone another way. Cherie, Allison, Casey put, I'm grateful for life and opportunities. And for those folks that are out there right now that know that this is your year, you know that this is the time. You're grateful for what you have, but you know that the best is still yet to come. It's still to come. Look right below the video and just put number 1. Just hit the number 1. Just hit 1. And 1 is a bat signal that the best is still yet for you to come. You're going to overcome these obstacles in life and business, and Sheila's the person to help get you there. Sheila, with that being said, we do have this mantra. For those folks that hit number 1, when someone hits number 1, hit the heart button. Like, hit the like button. Now, Sheila's present. She can't see it right now because she's present. She's here with you, but she'll see the comments. They're right below. Whatever page you're on. There's so many pages we broadcast on these days. But I do want to say this, Sheila. We're going to a segment that's one of our core beliefs. And one of our core beliefs is this whole belief that today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st. For those folks that know what I'm about to do, you know where I'm going. You can feel it. You look right below the video. And you write those words. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are hearing it for the first time, we welcome all the new viewers, by the way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is my January 1st. Represents one of those moments throughout time where you get a fresh start. You get a do-over. Your past no longer equals the future. You're not going to wait for January the 5th to show up. January the 1st to show up. You create a January 1st moment. And there's probably 1,000 moments throughout the day. And any one of those moments could create a breakthrough. Any decision. You make a decision, you're going to work out. That's a January 1st moment. Or are you going to sit back and watch Netflix? You got to binge watch, right? You make a decision that you're going to eat hamburgers and french fries. I always like to say salt, pepper. If you're with my sons, they got to have ketchup and hot sauce on it. Young people can do that stuff. Or you go to the refrigerator and you make a decision. You open it up. There's some kale. Got to have the kale. There's some Brussels sprouts. Don't you love Brussels sprouts? And there's even some broccoli in there. That's a January 1st moment. So it's a do-over. My dad used to say, Che, your future is spotless. So with that being said, when you hear those words, Sheila, today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind? What are you hearing?
Ooh, well, today I'm going to take you back to a day that was just a couple of years ago that kind of catapulted me into starting my business. I was working a 9-to-5 in a corporate job. The company got sold, and we had a wonderful team. Every year we were growing by our revenue stream. We were doing great things. We kept adding to our team, but not losing anyone from our team. So we were just a really tight-knit group. And like it says in Extreme Ownership, we were all bought in. We were moving forward. We were the best of the best. We were at the top of our game. We loved each other. We loved the work we did. We sewed into each other. We sewed into our community. And then all of a sudden our company, the owners just decided to sell. They sold it to a corporate entity. And that changed everything for everybody. People lost money. People lost their job. So this thing that we all had built together, we all kind of just, now we're sitting back and watching it be dismembered, kind of like your baby, just limb by limb. They were taking things apart and things were different and it didn't feel good. It didn't look good. I didn't like it. And you try to take care of your team and your people, but you're completely powerless. I did not like that feeling. So that was my January 1st, man. I still remember it was like I was yesterday. And the thing that keeps me motivated on my hardest and roughest days is knowing that feeling that I had back then, knowing I never want to feel that way again. I never want to be helpless at work. And I never want to, cry at work. I never want to do that again. So my January 1st was that day, Independence Day for me, when I decided, no, today is the day that I do something different. I'm going to keep getting these same results. I'm going to come to this place in this building every day. I'm going to feel this way until I have the courage, to unleash the treasures that are inside of me and just step forward. And man, that day was my January 1st. And I know you have a whole audience full of people that need to have that January 1st, because we have some gifted people in the world, man. I have run across so many wonderful people in the past couple of months since COVID started, when we've started connecting more online and virtually. It's broadened my world so much. And honestly, I'm thankful for that. But I know that there are so many people out there, and I've seen so many beautiful people. I know you said Mavis was on, and she made a comment earlier. Mavis is one of my trailblazer buddies, man. She's been doing the things. It's time. Now's the time. Don't sit back and wait, because we're not promised tomorrow. Take that January 1st today. Make it today. Don't wait until tomorrow. Stay up late tonight. If you've been thinking about a plan, if God's laid something on your heart that you need to do it now. Get ready. Step out, step into your place. It's just been waiting for you, and all the good things that are on the other side of all the bad things that you're feeling and all the things that you're afraid of. When you get there, that job, that next step in life, that it's going to be there to welcome you with open arms. It's going to be like, man, it took you so long to get here. I've been waiting for you. Just step into it. Don't be afraid. You can overcome any obstacle. Will it take a while sometimes? Maybe. Is it worth it? Totally.
You know what? One of the things I admire is I admire your energy. I admire your passion. We're talking about today is my January 1st, and there might be some folks out there that are wondering, where did this fire come from? Where did this passion come from? Where did this big why come from, this energy? I know you're from the great state of Georgia, but you're in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, by the way, in the middle of a storm right now. There's Hurricane Sally that's out there right now. You're like, Shay, I'm here. I'm present. Power goes out, which it did in the very beginning. I'm right back in there. And for Jacqueline McKeever, who's out there watching right now, for Jill Bullock, who says, number one, I'm all in it to win it, by the way. Dolores McDaniels that's watching right now. For Calvin that's watching right now. For everyone that's watching right now, they want to know, where does this fire come from? Where does this power come from that you have? And all this burst of energy to do what you do. Tell us, what's the backstory behind it?
It's just God at work. It's just God's work. It's not me. It's how he wired me up. It's how he made me. And I'm just thankful for it. I just appreciate it. And I want to shout out to Coach Jackie, since she's here. Since you mentioned her, I want to say hello. She's my friend and, good buddy and trailblazer buddy as well.
Are you giving shout outs on my show? Are you giving shout outs? You want to shout anybody else out while you're at it? You want to shout out Cheryl Wood's book? You want to shout out Karen Cherry? You want to shout out everybody? I'll just be quiet. I'll let you do some shout outs over there. She said, I'm doing some shout outs to all my peeps out there who are out there right now.
I'm just thankful everybody's here. My fire, I don't know. It's just here. It's just in me. it won't go away. And I talk too much, and that's what my sweet one, he laughs at me all the time. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you not do? Because they were looking at my list of things, and so what do you not do? And I said, shut up. I talk a lot. So if I could learn to shut up a little bit, probably that would be good. But no, I'm blessed by the Lord. He just leads me, and I just, every morning I just open up and fill up with him. I just empty me, and I just let him pour into me, just whatever, and I just walk where he tells me.
Well, I feel your energy. This is like so much fun. I'm having so much fun. And you're telling the truth. You're speaking the facts, which is really needed. We always talk about January the 1st, and people get excited as they're watching right now, and they're saying, today is my January 1st. They're super excited, just like they were back on December 31st. Some of them had a couple of drinks. It was on the back of a napkin, and they started writing down their New Year's resolutions. And if you ask them today, what is your New Year resolution, they don't even know, right? And so my question to you is, you've heard this before, that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do we struggle with? And I'm one of the ones that struggle all the time. We struggle with consistency. So what is your secret in order for you to be consistent, in order for you to hashtag stay the course?
Well, again, I go back to my planner. I'm a habitual planner. I plan everything. I plan my downtime. I plan my work time, because I want to get it all in. And the only way that I can get it in is to do it that way. The other thing I do to stay consistent is I do things in usually 90-day blocks. I work by the quarter. I plan vacations, and my sweet one laughs at me all the time because I'm like, okay, we need to talk about vacation. Where are we going next year? Because I need to get it on my day planner so I know that we're going to make it happen. But I work ahead. I know what's coming, and I plan for things. So, and that's the only way that I stay consistent. I struggle with it too, because whenever you are doing all those things and you want to do everything, because everything that comes to you sounds like such a good idea and it sounds like such a great opportunity, but really that's one of the keys to overcoming obstacles, is really knowing yourself and what fits you and what doesn't fit you, and where you're going to be able to shine your brightest. We don't always do that, but it's okay to do that. So that just working ahead and working with a calendar and planning, being sure that I follow up on things. I even schedule out follow up for things, because if I don't, I won't do it. So I write it all down. I have it in front of me, and if somebody loves technology and you love to put it in your in your computer or in your phone, schedule your follow ups. It's the same thing with praying for people. People always say, oh, well, I'll be praying for you. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm like, well, if you're going to say you're going to pray for somebody, you better be praying for them. Even to me, if I have to put it in my day planner, follow up, because I've been praying on this. But I have a prayer journal too. So, I'll put it in my book. Don't forget to, check in with this person you've been praying for, but you haven't heard from them. So that's the way I stay consistent. I write it down, schedule it out.
I love it. For folks out there listening, want to know how can they best connect with you, two-part question. Part one is, what type of clients or people are you looking to work with, your company's accepting right now? And number two, how can they best connect with the one and only Sheila Farr, all the way down there in Gulf Coast, Mississippi, by way of Georgia, by way of Georgia.
Who do I love to work with? I love to work with anybody who's ready to step out from that 9 to 5 and do their own thing. I'm a really good bridge builder. I'm pretty resourceful. If I can't do something for somebody, I thankfully have upgraded my network so I can get them in touch with people who can help them. But I just love to work with folks that are struggling with what should they do, where should they go, businesses that are having troubles with their teams, getting teams to work in the same direction. I love building teams. That's one of the most amazing things, the most fun things to do. So really just anybody in business that wants to make their business better. But the condition I have is you have to be willing to do the work. I don't accept excuses. I don't do excuses well. I'm ready to work with serious people that know it's going to be a little bit of work but are willing to do it. And how to connect with me, just Gulf Coast Training and Education Services here on the Gulf Coast. Sheila Farr at Facebook, LinkedIn. My website is gulfcoasttraining.org. or you can find me at thankfulandblessed365.com. That's my blog. So
I love it. This is fantastic. Tell them where to connect with you again. What blog? What's your blog? One more time.
thankfulandblessed365.com or gulfcoasttraining.org.
GulfCoastTraining.org. And for those folks out there, hit the share button, hit the watch party button. When you hit the share button, you pay the message for it. Just put grateful and thankful. Hashtag, she's both of those, by the way. She's covering all the bases. Grateful and thankful. Hashtag Sheila Farr, Farr, by the way. We're moving to a segment called Rapid Fire. And Rapid Fire is where I get to ask whatever questions on my mind. And you can answer or you can decline it, obviously. And one of my favorite questions I ask, they're all my favorite, by the way, but this is really my favorite question, is of all the ideas you've learned at least 10,000 plus success ideas. Of course, all the books you read, you might be at 20,000 right now. But if you had to boil it down to one idea that you want to share with folks right now, and they're like, hey, I got my paper, I got my pen, I'm taking notes right now, Shay. What is her number one way to be successful, Shay? I want to write that down. What would Sheila Farr say to those folks out there now?
Well, you've already said it. Just be consistent. Consistency is it. The second thing would be start where you are. Start today. Don't wait. Whatever it is that you want to do, if you have something that's kind of on your heart that keeps showing up in different places in your life, if you've got that little thing that you know you've always wanted to do, but you've just never, made the time or had the courage or, really seriously thought about taking the step, take the step. Take the step today. Do the thing. That would be it for me.
Do the thing. I love it. Of all the mentors you've had so many mentors along this journey of life. And if you had to pick one mentor that you want to share what you've learned from them with us, what would be the one idea you would share with your mentor? And all the folks out there are like, yes, tell us. We got our hands out like this. Sheila, we want to know. What's the one idea you're going to share with us, please?
Well, this is a biggie for me because you've heard me sit here and say, schedule. Yes. You can tell I'm kind of a regimented and a routine person. I like stuff to be structured. Now, look, don't think that I don't know how to be flexible because I've learned to do that over the years. It's not my favorite thing, but honestly, it was actually one of the first lessons that I learned from a mentor, somebody I just loved and admired. He was a supervisor of mine at my first job. I worked at Sears in the hardware department. Can you believe that? But I was on a path and I wanted to be a teacher and, that I wanted to be that. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to work at Sears. I just wanted to be a teacher, but I was now probably almost 20 years old and I was still in school because, I didn't have parents that were wealthy, so I had to work my way through school, which meant I had to stop school to save some money to earn to go back to school kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he told me, there are a lot of different paths and a lot of different ways to get to the end point. And don't be afraid, to take those. You might get off the path for a minute, but come back to the path. And if you find a different way to reach that destination other than what you thought, well, that's okay too. But just enjoy the journey. He told me, just enjoy the journey. Come back to the path, stay on the path, but enjoy the journey. And don't view it as wasted time. So.
Said so well. I know you recently are part of an anthology book that's out there. I don't know if you have a copy near you. You'd like to share, tell us the title of the book, and tell us what your chapter's about in that book. Of course you got a copy of the book. Of course she has a copy of the book. I mean, why would I think she not have a copy of the book handy? Oh, it just happened to be right here, Shay. Right here. Right here. So tell us about your chapter inside the book.
Well, you'll love this. It's called Defying Gravity. So it's talking about a lot of the things that we're talking about today, but it's talking a little bit more in depth about the way that I got to where I am now, and the things that I did have to overcome. And it also offers, some advice and some tools for people to do the same thing, kind of like we're talking about tonight, but a little bit more in depth. The title of the book is Courageous Enough to Launch. So, it's talking about having that confidence and overcoming that fear and taking those first steps and, doing the things that you need to do in order to do the things that God's called you to do. Just knowing that God's sovereign, first of all, and that even when you take that first step out of that comfort zone, you might be a little wobbly, but just knowing that he's got you and he's equipped you already, he's already got that gift there. All you have to do is open your hand and accept it. So it's about that.
One of the things I admire about you when I first met you at Success Conference about 3 years ago was your heart to give and your heart to serve. And you would run around like a servant there. And you're still serving. You're still working hard. Jill Bullock, who's out here, and she's from this great state of Maryland, by the way. She said, this is just what I needed tonight, the type of message that you're delivering. So you're changing lives, you're touching hearts, and you're making a difference. So I'm so appreciative that you agreed to be here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. What does Sheila Farr do for fun when no one's watching, right? They want to know, when you're not out saving the world, what do you do for fun?
Well, I recently became a certified firearms instructor, so I shoot targets.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very therapeutic. I used to be afraid of guns, and that's a whole different story. I'll come back another day and tell you about that one.
Yes. We'll have you back another day to talk about that. That's a seamless. She's a great seller, by the way. Yes, right? We'll have you back on the show. You have to talk about firearms and fear and what you did to overcome them.
No, but I love shooting. Gee whiz, I love all kinds of things. Firearms, I love yoga. It's funny, right? Firearms and yoga. It's like this.
I know. I was like, how did she bring that together?
Yeah, it's just a God thing. I just go where he tells me. And he leads me in the most wonderful places. I hang out with my friends and my sweetheart, and my family. I just, we're small and mighty, and I have great friends, the best friends in the whole wide world. So I just love to, just hang out with my peeps and.
Well, I tell you what, we appreciate you hanging out with the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Second to last question, then we'll close up. Second to the last question. For the person that's out there right now that's wondering and saying, you know what, there's so many takeaways from tonight, right? There's so many takeaways, or this morning, whenever they're watching, there's so many takeaways. If you can give just one more idea, you gave having the time, making sure that they track their time and having a planner and saying they're grateful. Is there one more suggestion or idea that you may offer someone that's out there so they can overcome the obstacles that they're going to face in business? Because it's not a question if it'll happen. They will hit the wall. They will hit a stopping point. What's another tool that maybe pops top of mind to you right now?
Collaborate with somebody that's doing what you want to do.
Talk about that, please.
Just kind of find the people that are doing something similar. I mean, it might not be the same thing, but it might be similar. And we talked about admiration and watching other people. So this is one way to actually put that to work. Don't just stand back and say, I wish I was that person, or I wish I had that person, or I wish I had their enthusiasm, or I wish I had whatever. If you see something that you admire in somebody, let them know and ask them to teach you. Try to collaborate with those people. We talked about upgrading your network. This is one of those ways to do that, just asking for help, because people who are in those places and people who are experiencing success that you would like to experience, oftentimes, they're willing to share. People love to sow into other people, and they love to grow people, so collaborate with people.
Collaboration. It's all about collaboration. First, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. One thing I know is you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So you took time away from your business. You took time away from doing what you want to do. You took time away from your honey bunny, sweetie pie, whatever you keep calling me, a sweet pea, or whatever you call it. You keep taking time away from so many folks to be present here in the middle of Hurricane Sally. So I want to say thank you so much. You could have sent me a note saying, well, Shay, I can't make it tonight. There's a storm that's coming and it's going to be here. You're like, nope, buddy. If that power's on, I'm here. If I got internet connection, we got the power, I'm here. So thank you so much for doing that. I want to encourage everybody to connect with you. I want to give it over to you to give your final thoughts, your final comments to empower, to inspire folks. And we will have you back on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You're just an amazing individual. And it's been a treat and a pleasure to be here with you this evening.
Well, first thing I want to do, Shay, is really thank you, because you've been my heart for years. I've been watching you, and I just love and appreciate what you do for entrepreneurs, honestly, for people in general. So I just truly love and admire you. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for having me here, first of all. To anybody that's watching, my thing that I would say again is just, start where you are. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if you start messy. Just start. Just step out in faith. Just trust that God has you. Trust that He has equipped you. If He's called you to it, He's equipped you to do it. So you have to know and you have to trust that. So step out in faith. Be sure you have that plan together, and do the work. Don't make excuses. Excuses are too easy. It's too easy to make an excuse and not do the thing. That's why, success is, that's why it's so sweet, because when you put in the work, it feels good. The achievement feels good. And just knowing that God's got you, He's going to lead you to where He needs you to go. Listen to Him. Listen to that still small voice, man. We all have it, and we all just push it down. But just get to a quiet place and listen to Him, step out in faith, and just keep going. And don't ask permission, and just do your thing.
Just do your thing. With that being said, thank you so much, Sheila. You're a rock star. You are amazing. You're awesome. And for all you folks that are out there, we appreciate you. I want you to know that you've got greatness inside you. And for you, the best is yet to come because you can overcome these obstacles. For you, today is your January 1st because you can be thankful, you can be grateful, you can plan, and you can take action. And today is your January 1st. You'll create the breakthrough. Make sure you go to that blog. Thankful and grateful. With that being said, for those folks who want to know who's making all that noise, who's doing all that screaming, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Now remember this. Time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in the moment and you got to make it count. God bless, and we wish you success. Thanks a lot, Sheila. We'll see you soon. Thank you all. Bye-bye. We out of here. We got to go. Make sure you connect. Make sure you follow. We out. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.